This week, we open to Parsha Mishpatim, and in it we encounter something that might seem, anticlimactic. Last week we stood at Sinai. There was thunder, there was lightning, God's voice came down, we got the Ten Commandments, super exciting. And now we've got laws about oxen, laws about property damage, laws about what happens when you dig into a pit and someone accidentally falls in because you didn't put a sign up and said, don't walk here. In a way, it's kind of like watching the Olympic opening ceremonies. Initially, pomp, circumstance, so many people talking about who had the best outfits and what was going on with the pageantry and the inspirational music. Then there's the debates that happen with the judges as all of the fun, exciting events happen. And people get very antsy about the judging on different skating, dancing, and other things. But here's what the Winter Olympics, I think, teaches us actually about the portion this week. That the rules are what make greatest things possible. Well, earlier, I know for many of you, last week, for me, I was kind of catching up with the news after last week. I watched Lindsey Vonn. She's 41, and I thought she was this amazing inspirational story. There she was with a titanium knee replacement, a torn ACL, and she finished ninth on opening days, and then at the gate in Cortina, she comes out, and everyone had already said, don't think that she could actually do it, and then 5 inches she caught with her line. Her arm got caught on a gate, and her return from retirement to reach Olympic dream ended. Not with a medal, but with a helicopter airlift. And this is the part that I found to be the inspirational part. From her bed, because it was discovered that she broke a bone in her tibia, I think it was. After multiple surgeries, she wrote, "I have no regrets. Standing in the starting gate was an incredible feeling. Knowing I stood there having a chance to win was a victory in and of itself." And that she added something that I felt like sounds a lot like Torah. She added, "We take risks in life. We dream, we love, we jump, and sometimes we fall. But that is the beauty of life. We can try. I tried, I dreamt, I jumped." And I feel like if we look and see what our portion is, we try, we dream, and we jump. In fact, that's kind of the spirit of Judaism, Na'aseh v'nishma. We will do and we will understand. Action happens before comprehension. We attempt before we actually understand. In thinking about this, we have all been Lindsey Vonn at that gate, going forward before actually really understanding the consequences of really what we're doing, or the magnitude. Rabbi Dean Steinsaltz offers a teaching, and he says, "We are used to lifting our eyes heavenward when we speak about God, but Parshat Mishpatim teaches us that God is present as well in the bills we pay, in the apple we eat, in the way we treat the parking attendant. Even in the smallest things, there's God." Mishpatim, according to Steinsaltz, comes right after Sinai in the Torah, because it's supposed to teach us something profound. That you can't just have revelation without actually understanding how to apply revelation. Otherwise, it's just this beautiful noise, a beautiful moment with having a divine encounter. And maybe we might still remember the thunder echoing in our ears. But after that revelatory moment, after the smoke on the mountain dissipates and everybody has started to march into the wilderness, we have to build society. We have to jump. The laws of Mishpatim are about treating workers fairly, about caring for the vulnerable, about honest dealings. These are the gates on the slalom's course. They are the boundaries that make the attempt possible. Dr. Yakir Eglander at the Hartman Institute puts it beautifully when he writes, "Life is a daily choice, again and again, to look carefully into the laws we are given. It is a choice to give compassionate attention to our human companions, and precisely in what seems most familiar, precisely in those with whom we share our daily and ordinary lives, to perceive the spark of mystery into the ordinary." Maybe that's what Lindsey Vonn found at the starting gate. That's what we find when we take the detailed, daily, sometimes tedious work of building the just and compassionate life, the just and compassionate society, and we take it with some level of seriousness. The difference between glory, though, and catastrophe for Lindsey Vonn was 5 inches. In downhill skiing and touring in life, sometimes the margins really are tight. They're small, and that's why the details matter. That's why the halakha, looking at those laws about how we apply revelation, makes sense. But here's what I want to take from that moment this Shabbat. She got in the gate, even injured. I'm sure she had doubt. She was 41 years old, and she still went for it. The only failure in life, she wrote, is not trying. Mishpatim invites us to get up and go into the gate. Na'aseh v'nishma. We will do, we will understand. We step forward before we have all the answers. Sometimes we fall. Sometimes our hearts are broken. But as Vonn reminds us from her hospital bed, that is also the beauty of life. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May we have the courage to try.